Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We are on Unit 3 Equations, Lesson 6, Combining Like Terms. So, a little fast review of what like terms are. Like terms are when you have two, these are terms, 1, 2, 3 terms in this problem, and two of them have a C. Those are the like terms. Those are the ones you can combine. But down here, I have 1, 2, 3 terms, and I can only combine two of them because they have the same variable. Like terms have the same variable or no variable at all, or the same variable and exponent. So let's take a look at this. -5 and +9. So to combine like terms, let me make this a little bigger so you can see it. You're going to add the coefficients and keep the like term. So 9 and -5 is 4. Keep the C equals -20. The inverse of times C is, the inverse of times 4 is divide by 4. So I divide by 4, and I get C equals -5. But to check it, you go back to the original equation and you put that -5 wherever the C is. So, -5 times -5 plus 9 times -5 equals -20. Negative times negative is +25, plus 9 times -5, opposite signs, the answer is negative. 9 times 5 is 45. So 25 plus -45. Well, the signs are different, so you subtract. 45 minus 25 is 20. 45 is larger than 25. 45 is negative, so the answer is negative. All right. For this one, we're going to, even though there's decimals, ooh, scary, we're going to combine these like terms. 5/10 y and 1/10 y. So, nothing happened to the 3600s. Equals 5/10 plus 1/10, 6/10 y minus 6/10. Okay, my decimal seems to make it a little bit bigger. All right, the inverse of minus 6/10 is to add 6/10 to both sides. Line up your decimal points. 6/10, not 600ths. Careful, careful. So, 6 plus 0 is 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. Decimal point 0 equals 6/10 y. That's why you have to be careful. All right, divide by 6/10. Divide by 6/10. And let's see, I don't remember. Good going, Bono. You don't remember. You got to use your calculator. The devastation. Morning, calculator. We are going to do what? 9600ths divided by 9600ths divided by 6/10. And you get 1 and 6/10. Well, that's not so bad at all. There we go. So 1 and 6/10 equals y. But you know how much I hate that. So I'm just going to reverse it at the end here. Y equals 1 and 6/10. Put a box around it. Now, I'm going to go back and check that. Why? Because sometimes, you make a mistake. So, 5/10 times 1 and 6/10 minus 6/10 plus 1/10 times 1 6/10. Okay, and that comes out to 36/100. Yay, it worked, it worked. Okay. Next, 2/3 G plus 1/2 G. You know, before I do anything else, I really just want to get rid of that fraction. I just can't with these things. So, least common denominator is 6. So I'm going to multiply everybody times 6. And by everybody, I mean all the numerators. So 6 times 2, 12, and everything else stays the same, divided by 3G plus 6 times 1, oops, sorry, 6, but the rest of it divided by 2G stays the same, and I get 14. Okay. 12 divided by 3 is 4G plus 6 divided by 2, 3G equals, oh no, I forgot to multiply 6 times 14. Well, that would have been very bad, and I would have gotten the wrongest of answers. Ugh. That's 84. That would have been, oh my goodness, that would not have worked out. 84. Okay. 4G plus 3G, 7G equals 84. All right. Divide by 7, divide by 7, and G equals 12. Now I go back and I check that, because, you know, now I'm worried because I almost made a mistake there. Don't want to make mistakes. Right. So, make sure y'all can see what I'm doing here. Get the right thing. Here we go. 2/3 G, so 2/3 times 12 plus 1/2 times 12 should equal 14. Yay, it equals 14. Okay, better. Whew. Good thing I didn't make that silly mistake. I'd have been wondering about it. Here we go. Negative 11 minus y equals 4. Oh, but there's no like terms there. I just have to solve it. All right. I am going to change this subtraction to add a negative 1. Because when the y comes after subtraction, people make mistakes all the time. So negative 11 plus negative 1y equals 14. So all I did was change my subtraction to plus a negative and put the 1 in to make it easier. Just when the variable is after a negative sign, this is the smartest thing you can do. All right. The inverse of subtract 11 is to add 11 to both sides. And then I get, well, that's 0. Negative 1y equals 25. Now I have a negative in front of my y, negative 1. To get rid of that, I divide by negative 1 on both sides. And I get y equals negative 25. Put a box around it because it's beautiful. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to check that. Let me slide this up a little bit. Hit clear because I don't want to be confusing. And yeah, negative 11 minus parentheses negative 25, because you always put your answer in parentheses, equals, positive 14. It worked beautifully. Goodbye, calculator. Wonderful. Okay, now to solve this. I can't combine like terms here either, so I'm just going to solve it. 2/3 x equals negative 8. All right. I am going to use the inverse of 2/3. Well, what's the inverse of 2/3? You just flip it over. Times 3 over 2. Oh. times 3 over 2. Now remember, there's like this invisible 1. Really, Bono? Invisible numbers are purple. Invisible 1 right there. So let's do the problem. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And I have an x equals negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. 1 times 2 is 2. All right. Well, 6 divided by 6 is 1x. Negative 24 divided by 2 is negative 12. Let's see what that does. 2/3 times negative 12. All right. Here we go. 2/3 times negative 12 is negative 8. Ta-da, ta-da, it checked. All right, down here. Ooh, that's a whole lot of mathing going on, isn't it? Well, it's all multiplication. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to try and remember my rules for adding, my rules for multiplying a number that has a base and an exponent. But since it's multiplication and it's all multiplication, I'm going to rewrite this problem as 4 times 6 times 10 to the 6th times 10 to the negative 3rd. Oh, okay. If I have the same base, I can add the exponents. 10, 6 plus negative 3. And these are just regular old numbers now. 4 times 6 is 24 times 10 to, and now 6 plus negative 3. 24 times 10 to the 3rd power. Wait a second. I'm remembering more stuff now. That's scientific notation. And you can't have a number over 10. So, oh my goodness, I have to make this number smaller by moving the decimal over and making that number larger. And I get 2 4/10 times 10 to the 4th power. Or I look at that problem and say, why am I doing math? I have a calculator. So let's try it on the calculator. Here we go. This is what's going in the calculator, exactly the way it was. Parentheses 4. Now there's actually a button you can press right here. Let me show you. See, times 10 with the little n. N is the exponent. So I'm going to press that button, times 10 to the n, and I'm going to put in this exponent 6. Come off of my calculator. Now the other half of the equation, which is 6 times 10 to the negative 3. 6, same little 10 to the x button, and put in negative 3, close my parenthesis, and now what's in my calculator exactly matches what's on here. If I press enter, I get 24,000. Oh, wow, I wonder how I changed that into scientific notation. I bet there's a button. Let's see, mode, and not norm, psi. I'm going to hit that button and clear this, and now I'm going to press the button, and look what it did. It changed it to scientific notation for me. 2.4 times 10 to the 4th. Look at that. I love my calculator. But you know what? Now I'm in that weird scientific notation mode. If I hit mode, I want to get out of that because that's not going to help me. Clear that, and that's my answer. Yay me. Put a little box around it, but this is even more fun. I like this problem. Now I'm going to do it in little chunks. Negative 36 divided by 18, and x to the 4th divided by x to the negative 2nd, and y to the 7th divided by y to the 7th. Now with division, you divide the number. Negative 36 divided by 18 is negative 2. So that number there is going to be just boring old negative 2. Now, for when you have a base and an exponent, you keep the base and subtract the exponent. 4 minus negative 2. Cube change, plus, plus, get negative 2x to the 6th power. And y, 7 minus 7. Well, that's y to the 0 power. Oh, yeah, now I remember. Any number to the 0 power is 1. So this is negative 2x to the 6th times 1, which is negative 2x to the 6th, and that's my answer. All right. Well, that's enough independent practice for today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.